Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just your friend Hand here, and it is absolutely great to see you here this afternoon. And today I'm very, very excited to have Walt back with us again, and to share more techniques on Hangouts. How do you exactly make money with Hangouts? With the different arena of internet marketing, how do you really utilize that technology? Now, what I'm more exciting about, ladies and gentlemen, is this new WordPress plugin he has coming up in the next couple of days. That's going to really, really change the way you do Google Hangouts, because now you can run your very own webinar with a very, very affordable investment here. Actually, I'm going to let him talk more about that inside this interview. So be more very, very exciting about that as well. So before we get into all this excitement here, let's kind of learn how Walt got started with the internet marketing, but most importantly, what did he do exactly to achieve the level of success that he has today? So, Walt, could you kind of take over the mic, share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Great, yeah, absolutely. Hi, Han, how you going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for having me back on the show. I think this is like third or fourth time back with you, so thanks, man. Really appreciate that. So my internet marketing story, I can pick the day for those who haven't seen the show before with me. I can tell you the day I started thinking about it. It's not the day I started making money, but my daughter was born, and I was working a corporate job and absolutely a slave to the desk. And the day my daughter was born, it just took my breath away, and I had to go back to work while my wife and my brand new baby were still in the hospital. And so I was sitting at work that day going back thinking, oh my God, what am I doing here? And I decided to start looking for ways to get out of work, to stop being away from the family so much. I was getting in at work at 7 o'clock in the morning and not getting home till 9 at night. And with a brand new baby, that's just not the right thing to do. So I started just racking my brains every day trying to think about things I could do. And I started trying lots of different stuff. I ended up on the Warrior Forum and trying to do lots of different stuff. And those first maybe 18 months or 2 years, I lost a lot of money. Just trying different things, and nothing was really happening for me. And one of the things that I was doing was I was spending a lot of money on advertising, Han, and one day, like a light bulb went off for me. Hey, instead of spending money on advertising, maybe I can be the person who's selling that advertising. And that was a bit of a turning point for us. We set up an advertising website, and it went really well. And then we duplicated that success. We set up 2 or 3 different other advertising sites as well, and they each went really fantastically well, to the point one of them had 35,000 members inside of 6 months, which was fantastic.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, that was huge. That was an amazing one. And at that point, something really interesting happening. I started getting approached from people and asked about websites and about traffic and about advertising, and can I help them get more traffic to their sites and that kind of stuff. And so I started taking on some clients, helping them with search engines, helping them with different stuff. And to be honest, that was a much more lucrative, much more money was coming from that. I sat down with the guy at a coffee shop. I told him what we do, and he basically just put the checkbook in front of me and said, just tell me how much. And so, I started bringing in clients at $2,000 a month, and you don't need many of those to have an amazing kind of lifestyle. And it was at that point that the internet marketing business was making as much as the job, and it was a very exciting time because I kind of thought, this is amazing. It's costing me more money to go to work because I couldn't get more clients. I was spending too much time at the job. It was costing me money to go. So it was a big decision to leave such a well-paid job. But one of the things that I did, and this was a stupid mistake, one of the things I did was I sold my advertising sites so that I could fund my way forward into this next step of the journey, right? A stupid thing to do, because literally what I did was I sold the goose that lays the golden eggs. Right? We took the money, we got the house and the office and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. But then the big change happening. So now I'm focused. I sold those advertising sites and I was focused on working with clients. And something happened literally overnight. Google made some changes and wiped out our success. To the point where it was only 3 months after I left the job, and I already had 4 people on a sales team. I had a telemarketer, so I had a big team of people. And when Google made these changes, our results just literally fell off a cliff. And I started having to work, 18 and 20 hours a day trying to keep those rankings to where we wanted them to be. I shut down my sales team. I said, I can't have any more clients. Don't bring me any more clients. And I couldn't charge my existing clients, so I was working for free now.
Mm.
So now I've got no money coming in and working 20 hours a day, and I'm not going out getting more clients. That was a downward spiral that happened really, really fast. So it was at that point that the second big change and brought me to this point where we are today. I looked at what I was doing, and I needed to build some tools to do what I was doing, right? So I was doing everything manually. I hadn't learned about outsourcing at that point, and if I had my time again, I would be outsourcing everything and not doing it all myself.
Mm.
You know, you learn those lessons later on. But so I started needing to develop these tools, right? I thought, okay, I need a WordPress plugin that does this, and this, so that I don't have to spend 5 hours a day doing that for my clients, right? So I went to Elance, and I said, okay, so this is what I need. I need this, I need a WordPress plugin to do this. Who can help me do this build? So I had lots of people bid for this, and they started building. They started giving me quotes on building these WordPress plugins. At this same time, I was trying to say, right, what are the things that are successful? What's working for these clients? And one of the things that was working was finding good age domains and high page rank domains. But again, I was spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day trawling through domains trying to find good ones that we can use for ranking. So I developed a tool that did all of that domain hunting quickly, and that was a massive turning point for me. But not before I nearly went broke. I got down to having this is a real true story, and I tell this part surely because people say, yeah, that's you, Walt, you're so successful, whatever. I got down to having less than $10 in my bank account.
Oh.
My credit card was maxed. I've got a brand new mortgage on the house. My daughter at this time, she's about 2.5, and my second one's on the way. And I had less than $10 in my bank account, and I was at the end. I was literally broke. I was done. And I said to my wife, it was a Friday actually, I remember it very clearly. I said to my wife, with my head in my hands, I said, I'm going out to go for a run, and if we haven't made any money by the time I get back, I have to go and get a job on Monday, right? Because I couldn't afford to be in that position anymore. I had to go to completely give up this dream of freedom and go back and get a job. So I went out for a run, and I came back, and we had made 22 cents.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's an incredible story there. What do you do?
Not $22,000, not even $22, right? We had made 22 cents. But you know what? I said, as I went out for this run, I said a little prayer. I said, please help me. If I'm on the right path, please let me make some money by the time I get back on this run. And you know what? I didn't ask for an amount. I just asked to just show me that I'm doing the right thing. And we made 22 cents. And I thought, you know what? That's enough. It shows me that I'm doing the right thing. So that was a Friday, and I remember it clearly because I had built this tool that did this domain searching. And that Saturday morning, I woke up and decided to launch it on the Warrior Forum. And that weekend, we did $15,000 of sales.
Oh, wow.
of that product on the Warrior Forum. And that was the big turning point for me. That product is called PR PowerShot, and that continues to be one of our big sellers. We sold over 10,000 copies of that product now. That was a major turning point. That allowed me to fund these WordPress plugins that I wanted to build. So the WordPress plugins then became a big thing, and we're taking off, and things are starting to really grow. So how did we get here, and what are we talking about? Along the way, so from going to making 22 cents overnight being the life changer, having less than $10 in the bank, and absolutely at the end of my rope, to the point where in the last 2 years, my family, I've now got 2 daughters, myself and my wife, my family, we have been able to travel the world. We went through Europe. We spent 18 months in Europe, traveling through the world, and the business is growing every single day. So that's a pretty big turnaround.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a huge turnaround.
Yeah, so it looks like you have been to a lot up and downs, and not just in internet marketing, but as an entrepreneur, right? I mean, that's kind of things that we all had to face as an entrepreneur, and I mean, there's 3 major things that you really had to deal with every single day, and that is the people, and that is the process, and that is the product, right? And if you master all those 3, you'd be good. And so, what would it be your advice to give out to someone who's just starting out with internet marketing, and to knowing what you're knowing today? What would it be some of your top advice you can give to them?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I can absolutely relate to what we're going to be talking about today. The advice I would give is that you can, first of all, you have to be the product owner. You have to be the product owner. Continually creating an asset. And an asset can be as simple as typing something out in a Word document and converting it to a PDF, and that PDF then can go up online. That's an asset. If you give it away or sell it, it doesn't matter. That is an asset. You have to continually be creating assets, okay? And that assets can be a video, assets can be an interview, assets can be something digital, but you have to be the owner. All right, and let me give you an example. When we had those advertising sites, okay, we had what's called affiliates. So we had affiliates that would grab a link from us and they would promote our advertising sites, and as a result, they get paid. Okay, and we were extremely generous with our affiliate commissions. We were paying 50 and sometimes 60% of any sale. So we were actually giving away more than half of that sale to the affiliates. But I want to give you a bit of a maths, like the target of a bullseye. So let's say one of our affiliates, I was absolutely blown away when we had one of these advertising sites. One of our affiliates made $2,000 overnight. I was like, wow, that's fantastic. I was telling my wife, this guy, he's made $2,000 overnight. And my wife said, wow, that's really amazing. Shouldn't we be doing that? And I said, no, because the product owner gets that same split, right? The affiliate gets the $2,000. Wow, that's amazing. But so does the product owner. But here's the key. Like as I said, the target of a bullseye. A product owner cannot just have one affiliate. A product owner can have 100 affiliates, and each of them making their good affiliate commissions. But the product owner, it's all coming back into the center. So my advice for anybody getting started is you have to be the product owner, and you can do that really quickly and easily. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the interview with you, Han. You can become a product owner today, right now, this very second, and I'll tell you how. If you're looking on the Warrior Forum, you're looking on JVZoo, you're looking on ClickBank or Offer Vault or Commission Junction, any of these places, there's a lot of programs out there, right? And I'm sure that you've bought at least one. I'm sure that you've bought at least one.
100,000.
It could be. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. It could be a set of graphics. It might be a WordPress plugin. It might be a training module. It might be a Teespring campaign. It could be something that you've bought because you looked at it and thought, I can do that, and that's something that I can use, and I can use that to make money, right? Mm-hmm. So I can guarantee you that you've bought something. If not, go out and buy something, and then that'll fill that gap. Now, here's how you can become a product owner. You can grab that product that you just bought, you can learn how to use it, and while you're learning, you can create a small, short Word document on the process. First I installed it, then I did this, then I did that, this is the results that I got, and can convert that into a PDF. Do it as a PowerPoint, okay? So you can even turn that into a video. So PowerPoint to video, you can use a program like Camtasia. And there's lots of other programs out there that you can actually do screen recording for free. But you can video yourself using this product. You don't have to be on the camera, but you can actually show yourself using this product. Now you have what's called a review of that, and that is your product. Okay. Now here's how to use that. You can go back to the product creator, and you can do an interview with them. Again, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to, but you can just talk to them. Hey, thanks, I bought your product on Thursday last week, and I put together this review, and I just wanted to ask you for 5 minutes if that's okay. Can you tell me how you came up with it, etc. Now, what you've got is you've got your own product. Now, how to use that? You can go up and create a very quick free WordPress blog. You don't even have to have your own domain to do this step. You can use WordPress itself and create your own blog. You can put up a review, and you can give away the PDF, okay, in exchange for somebody saying, put your name and email address, and I'll send you the PDF and the 10 steps that I use to this product to make it successful. Okay, so now you can start to capture leads and what we call build a list or build a database. And if there's any advice I can give to anybody getting started, please hear me on this. Do not let a single day go by without thinking about adding names to your database. Okay, your database is, I talk about assets, your database is the biggest asset. All right, building a list, getting people's names and emails, getting them to register or opt in is the most important thing you can do. Why? Because it's lifetime. You might spend, even if you're spending on Facebook ads or you're spending on Google ads or whatever, you might spend 20 cents, 50 cents, $1 to bring somebody to your page if you're using paid advertising. But once they're on your database, they are free. Okay, they are free traffic to any offer, because you can build that database. So you can become the product owner, and as I said, the biggest piece of advice I can give is build a list, become a product owner by doing very simple steps like using the products that you already have and documenting that process, and then start to put your own products up onto the web. Okay, it's a simple process. Don't get caught with loopholes and gimmicks because you can create your own product easily and you don't need that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked about Hangouts as in the introduction and how to use Hangouts to make money. Let me tell you how I got onto Hangouts. I was doing webinars, and webinars are like the golden tap. I can't explain it any better. The first time I did a webinar, I was talking about a particular product that I had bought. I just following the same advice that I'm giving you here, right? I had bought this product. It was an expensive product. It was a product that actually allowed you to create something called macros. Okay, a macro lets a computer do all the work for you while you don't have to do the work. All right, and so the very first version of PR PowerShot that I talked about was a macro. It went to the site, it scraped the data, it analyzed the data, it did all this kind of stuff, and it spat out the high-profile domains. That was a macro. So I had bought this software to create macros, and I was simply doing a webinar on using this software for myself, and an amazing thing happened. From that one webinar, we made affiliate sales. All right, affiliate sales. I think we made like $1,500 or $2,000 from that webinar. I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing, right? And why was the webinar so important? Because people could engage. They could ask me questions. They, instead of just reading through a sales copy and kind of having to take a bit of a leap of faith and say, yeah, I can believe that, I can understand it. They could ask me, they could say, Walt, can you show me? And on a webinar, I could literally show them. Yeah, sure, you just click here, you do this, and you can immediately see your questions being answered. So webinars are the golden tap for anybody that's looking to make money online, because your audience can engage with you and can feel connected to you, and that instant trust is conveyed across in the webinar. So, one of the things I was doing, started to do webinars just a little bit, started to do a few more, and one day, as part of the process of me growing my business, I had engaged a business coach, and somebody who I said, look, help me take my business further, and so we're due to catch up on Skype, and Skype kept dropping out for me, and this business coach of mine, this is last year in January, said to me, why don't you jump on a Hangout with me? And I said, a what now? A who? What? A what? A Hangout? What's that? And so he sent me this link, and I jumped on this Hangout, and it was crystal clear audio, amazing HD video, and instant communication and chat, and screen share, and PowerPoints and stuff. And I went, whoa, what's this? And so we had my coaching session on this Hangout, and as I was finishing the Hangout, and I said to this business coach of mine, wow, people should do webinars on these things. And he said to me, yeah, but there's not a system that allows that yet. And I went, ooh, hello. So I went to work. And I said, we're going to build a system for Hangouts that is a webinar system so people can use them. And last year in July, we launched the Hangout plugin with great success. People could suddenly have a webinar system and use Google Hangouts to run their webinars. So, by that point, I was paying the top level of GoToWebinar, which is $479 a month for 1,000 seats on the webinar, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a brilliant service. GoToWebinar is amazing. You see it all over the place. GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. It starts from $79 a month. They give you a 30-day free trial, but as soon as that 30 days kicks over and that $39 hits your credit card, man, it hurts. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you're making. A monthly fee hurts. It doesn't matter if it's $79 or $479 or $499 is the top level. But I don't care how much you're paying. Every time that charge went through, it hurt me. It physically, I could feel the pain of it, especially at the high end. So we created Hangout plugin because I was selfish and didn't want to pay any more didn't want to pay any more GoToMeeting fees, GoToWebinar fees. So we launched Hangout plugin in July last year, amazing results, and people could now run their Hangouts and use Hangouts as webinars. And over the last year, we've had so much customer feedback from people. We've had, hey, it'd be great if you can do this. And we've developed that program all the way along to a point where we've now added some major new features, and we've got a new release which is coming up this week, which I'll talk about a little bit more. But one of the things I want to talk about is how to use Hangouts to make money. And this is for absolutely anyone that's watching this. It doesn't matter if it's your first day online, you can do this. Hangouts are free. But how to use Hangouts to make money, you can actually get any product, have a look at it, and you can use PowerPoint or Keynote if you're an Apple user, and you don't ever have to be on camera. All right? You can share your screen, you can scroll through slides, and you can even, if you want to, have a backing track and not even talk. That's no problem at all. Han, I want to tell you about an article I read just a few days ago, where a case study, where somebody using that exact formula, they had PowerPoint slides, okay, and they did those PowerPoint slides and they put it on, what you would call the traditional route, up onto YouTube. Then they did those same PowerPoint slides in a Hangout, and guess what? The Hangout ranked and got traffic. The YouTube video disappeared, wasn't even visible.
Oh, wow.
Exactly the same PowerPoint, exactly the same slides, exactly the same presentation, the same title, the same everything, but because it was a Hangout, it ranked. Now here is a huge thing. If you can do Hangouts, right, you can get traffic and use them for what we call search engine optimization, because Google loves Hangouts. It's their own product, and so is YouTube, okay? But they are putting more emphasis on Hangouts because of that interaction feature, and Hangouts are ranking and getting more traffic than any other video source at the moment. So that's a huge tip. So you can use Hangouts by simply grabbing a product, doing PowerPoint slides, doing an interview, catching up with someone, and getting ranked. If I can tell you another quick story. One of the guys who grabbed the original Hangout plugin with us, he went down to a local business, I'm not sure, I think it was a plumber, and basically did a series of quick 5-minute Hangouts, live interviews with this plumber about fixing taps, right? How to fix a tap, how to fix a washer, how to fix your shower, whatever, okay? And he ranked these Hangouts with the local plumber to the point where this plumber's phone was ringing off the hook because people would Google search how to fix a tap, right? And this guy's Hangouts are coming up and with a big phone number up the top, call for your plumbing, whatever. So people are watching a video on how to fix a tap, and they see this guy, it automatically builds authority. And the guy who bought Hangout plugin was doing these series of interviews for local businesses and charging them $500 a piece to do these interviews, getting massive traffic, and just absolutely maxing it hard by doing simple Hangouts.
Oh, wow.
Right, very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, there's a lot of ways of making money from Hangouts that you don't have to be on camera, all right? Hangouts are great because you can have that live conversation like we're doing right now on a Hangout. But there's a lot of ways to use Hangouts without ever having to be on camera if you're scared. And, of course, being on camera just adds a different element to it as well. So, why are we here? As I said, we've built a lot of these new features into the program to the point where we said, let's actually bundle this into a new release as we have some new stuff coming through. And I'm so proud, man. I'm so proud to be able to release RunClick this week, which is the new version of our webinar software. It has so many additional features that it's just set to make people a stack of money, and I'm just thrilled to bring it to you.
All right. So speaking of that, give us a little bit background story. Why did you decide to get this new version out? What is the biggest problem you're trying to help all the internet marketers solving here?
Yeah, sure, great. Good question. One of the things is that doing webinars specifically is a time-consuming thing. Okay, and for a lot of people, it's a scary thing. And one of the massive benefits of using the new version of RunClick is something that we created called the evergreen funnel. And what's an evergreen funnel? And I'll actually show you if you like, show you how it works. What this allows you to do is grab any YouTube video and use it as a Hangout presentation and create what we're calling an evergreen funnel where people can can go to that page on any day of the week. It doesn't have to be when the live Hangout is on. It can be on any day of the week, at any time. They can bring this traffic to the funnel. They can lead capture. Remember I said building the database was the biggest thing. So they can lead capture. We're integrated with all of the autoresponders, plus we have our own inbuilt lead capture system, so then you have to pay for autoresponders if you don't want to. So you can have a video, you can have people register to watch that video as a webinar presentation, and they can have that lead capture and automatic follow-up in the background. That's one of the things. The other thing is getting people to take action. So when you're watching a presentation, you say to yourself, I want them to click on a button. I want, at this particular point, go now and buy this product, right? So we've actually built we've built a live pop-up call to action system, and again, I'll show you that. And the other big one, and one of the biggest pieces of feedback, I guess, that we always were getting about Hangouts, people were saying, oh yeah, but you can't have so many people on, you can only interact with one or up to, I think it's up to 10 people at a time. You can't actually have that live question and answer going backwards and forwards like you can on a webinar. Like GoToMeeting has that chat box on the right-hand side, and you can ask the presenters a question, they can see the question, they can answer the question, and you have that Q&A with the presenter, right? Mm-hmm. So we've actually developed our own Google app.
Okay.
Right? Our own Google app that works within Hangouts. So when they're doing a Hangout, now we've got the chat box on the right-hand side, exactly the same, that you can have unlimited people watching a Hangout event and have that live Q&A with people going through. So there's been a stack of other little bits and pieces in the background, but those are probably the biggest three that are going to run amazing systems for people as they pick up and run with RunClick as we move forward with it.
So sounds like you heard a lot of feedback from the current customer of yours, and just keep improving on it. And I think we talked a little bit before this. I think you're the only one actually have a Google Hangout apps inside the Google Hangout. I mean Google App Store, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As far as I know, I mean I might be wrong, but we haven't just designed. Let me talk about from a technical point of view just for a second. Whenever you're building software and you're building on a particular platform, so you might have an iPhone app that's in the iPhone framework. You might have a WordPress plugin. You're building that in a WordPress environment, right? Mm-hmm. So building a Google app is a completely separate world to be in. So it's not like one piece of software is our RunClick plugin. It's actually several pieces of software, and one of them we've developed inside of the Google framework. So when people fire up a Hangout, they actually can have our app inside, and I can show you that if you want. Do you want to do a screen share? I'll show you.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So if I screen share you, there we go. Can you see my screen now? You can probably see yourself.
1 second. It's loading. Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, cool. See, over here, this is our Hangout app, right? So this is Google's framework itself, and this is my Hangout app if I open it up here. Okay? And people, once they have this, will always have it within their Hangout dashboard. And now, from this side panel over here, when you're running an event, all you do is put the URL in, and you can have that live chat. So this is a Hangout, and this is somebody watching a Hangout. They can have this chat function here, and it shows up in my Hangout, and I can have live Q&A with unlimited people watching my event. So we designed that, we built that as a Google app that works, that is inside of the Hangout themselves, and that's a free part of the RunClick system.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think you're the only one that does that. That's awesome.
I think there's lots of other webinar systems out there. I know Michael Same's got Webinar Jam, and there's a couple of others floating around as well. And they are brilliant. They're great programs, and I'll never ever say bad about a program there. And if you want to just help your assistant, I think he's got a blue screen behind him.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. So.
Okay.
I see that too. I saw that.
That's why I stopped talking for a second before I said it.
Yeah.
So you can pause it out. Yeah. So these systems are great, and they've got a good following as well. And GoToMeeting, as I said, GoToWebinar is a massive system out there as well. But the reality is that lots of those other programs are using third-party applications when they're running Hangouts. So they're using things like Livefire for their chats, or something like that. Whereas we've actually built in the Google app. When we first did the first release of Hangout plugin, we had a third-party tool as well. We were using a third-party tool, but what I realized really quickly when I was using my own system was that I couldn't have those two screens open. You know, I was doing my presentation over here, and then somebody would ask me a question over here, and I'd be like, and using two different systems just wasn't working. We needed to have it inside of the Hangout dashboard, which is why we built the app, so that people can have unlimited attendees and run that live Q&A. And also from our Google app, from within the Hangout dashboard, when you're running a live event, is when you can trigger a buy button. Do you want me to show you what I mean with the buy button?
Yeah. Why don't you actually give us a sneak preview of some of the awesome feature you're talking about? I think that my audience have a better understanding how this works.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, since we're on the topic, I'll talk about the buy button first. So what do I mean by a buy button? And again, you can trigger this from within the Google app. You're doing a Hangout, all right, and you click a button and the buy button comes up immediately. And let me show you what I mean and why that's so powerful. Okay, why that button is so powerful. Because when you're doing a presentation, you're building up engagement, you're building up trust, you're talking about a particular product, and there's a point in the presentation where your audience is at their peak. The audience is, yeah, this is great. I want to do this. I want to either put my name and email address down, or I want to buy it right now. Okay, and so you'll be able to trigger that call to action, what we call a call to action, then and there at exactly the peak time. So let me show you. I'll do the screen share again. Okay. So are we on the screen?
It takes about a second. Yeah, we're on it now.
Okay, cool. So this is inside of RunClick, and as I said, let me talk about this the buy button just for a second quickly. We've got voting and pop-up. You can ask a voting question. So I can say I've written a do you agree, yes or no, and I can create my own answers, maybe. All right. And then you can actually see that vote. So you can have this, you can have these voting questions pop up on the screen. That's one form of engagement. So you can actually have that within RunClick. So you can actually see then the stats. Sorry, I'll just go back there. Do you vote stats? Do you agree? Yes, no, maybe. So people can vote. But let me talk about this buy button. Right. Here we go. I can set a timer, so I can actually have it at a particular time, or as I said, trigger it from the Hangout itself. So I'm going to say at a particular time, and for this demonstration, I'm just going to set it up at 5 seconds. And I've got like a buy button here. Okay? So I want this to pop up, and I can see that I've got a link. It's going to go to RunClick in this case, at a particular time of the presentation. So I've set this to be 5 seconds. Obviously, you know, yours might be at 27 minutes and 32 seconds or whatever it is. Let's see how that actually works. So I've got this is my HanFan makes awesome webinars. At 5 seconds, this is going to pop up, right? So let me push play. Okay, so I'll just load the screen. Okay, so here we go. At 5 seconds, let's watch this happen. So we're at 1, 2, 3. Watch this buy button come. Bang, there it is, straight there. Okay, so you can actually trigger that at a specific time. Han, did you see that happen?
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
I'll show you that again because I just want to again reinforce how important this is. Like to be able to actually get somebody to take a specific action at a point in time. Okay, so here's somebody's watching the webinar, and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is great, fantastic, okay, right, what do I do now? And so then the buy button goes boom, and can direct them straight to that particular page that you're trying to steer them to, okay? And on that page actually is one of the other awesome features, what we've got called evergreen webinars. Okay. So I talked about lead capture, being able to capture somebody's name and email address. All right. So this is what we're talking about with evergreen webinars. Being able, somebody comes to the page, and I just designed this page with like a full page background image. You can see that there in social sharing. We do that all from within RunClick, and let me show you. We do that here. So we've got page design. You can have that full page graphic. Okay, and you can see that I've chosen that one with the lights and the stage behind. So there it is, the lights and the stage. All right. You can design this. We've got the social sharing buttons you can turn on and off. You can have your logo. So I'll put a logo here, and the logo might be HanFan is awesome. Okay, I'm going to have a text logo. You don't even have to have a picture logo. So I'll update. So you can control every element of the page design, which is a massive, massive thing. Let me just refresh that page. We'll see HanFan is awesome. Okay, hand fan is awesome. Okay, and
That's
so
cool.
what I'm going to do now is I could bring traffic to this page. So I could go and share it on Facebook. I could go and create ads. I could go and link it into a PDF campaign, whatever it is, right? And somebody comes to this page and they get a chance to watch the webinar. Okay, so I can enter my name and I can enter my email. And then I can say, I've got this option turned on, which is I call Watch Now. But I've set this up to play at specific dates and times. Okay?
Right.
So I want to, maybe I'm too busy now. I got the email about this amazing webinar, but I'm too busy, I'm at work. But I could watch it on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Okay? So the evergreen system allows people to choose that. And to set that up is so quick and easy. All right? You can go into your webinar, you can say, do I want them to be allowed to watch now, yes or no? And how do I want to set up the days? So I might have on specific days and times, or a 3-day system. Let me choose that one. Or the days, that's probably easier to understand. So I want this to look like it's available on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And I can say we're going to do a session at 7, 5, and 7 p.m., okay? And I can just set those options up like that so quickly. Now, then I don't actually have to be there. I don't have to be running that presentation. I can use any YouTube video as that presentation. So I can do a Hangout one time. It automatically saves to Google, automatically saves to YouTube, and then I can use that YouTube recording over and over and over again as an evergreen funnel.
Mm.
Okay, so amazing system. It's incredibly powerful because why? We talked about. I'll just turn the screen back on. We talked about how we're going to use this to make money. Well, the reality is that a lot of people out there will already have a sales video, right? So you, as an affiliate, you can say, I'm going to try and make money from this particular program or whatever. Take the webinar, take the sales video, the YouTube video, put it into your own RunClick system, and now, do you remember I said the most important thing was building your assets, and the most important asset is your database and list? You can use RunClick and anybody's sales video, any sales video, any video that's out there, or you can make your own, as I said, with PowerPoint or whatever, or Hangouts. You can put it into RunClick, and you've got a presentation that plays at a specific date and time, whatever the user chooses. Okay? Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they get a follow-up email, they get a reminder email to come and attend the event, so that you can set these emails in RunClick. Let me show you. There we go. And I'll let that load for just a second. If I go back to my dashboard, tell me when you've got it up on your screen.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so inside of the RunClick system, we've got these email settings, right, which is the automatic follow-ups and reminders. So I've got this webinar, right, and I can have reminder emails, and I can set these to go at a specific time. So maybe I want a reminder email one day, 24 hours before the event. So I can set, the name is at the 24-hour email. Don't forget your webinar. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And I can include the link that they need to go to at that time. So I just copy that in and put that in. That'll send this automatic email to them one day before the event. And I can keep adding. So maybe I also want to remind them at 24 hours, at 1 hour, at 30 minutes. Okay, so the automated system will follow these people up and make sure that they come to the event. And then after the event, so they've come, they've registered, they've watched the webinar, and then the system will automatically follow them up at whatever time. So maybe one day after they've watched, I want to send them a reminder. Hey, thanks for joining me on the webinar. Don't forget to click here to buy your whatever. So we've got automated follow-up built into RunClick as well.
Cool. So so for someone starting out, they don't need to, get their own email servers. This is really gonna. I think this whole plugin is it's a game changing in so many different ways. You don't need to pay the $500 fee for what's that webinar company?
Go to a meeting, go to a webinar.
That's what I'm doing.
We've got a client, a guy named Drew Griffin, and his testimonial's up on the page actually. You'll see there. And Drew he sent me a quick message. He said, "I'm not blowing smoke. I've literally saved 2 companies $6,000 a year each."
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So, and that is an absolute reality. go to webinar if you've got the highest event. You're only allowed to have 1,000 seats. And for somebody watching this, it might be like, wow, 1,000 seats. That's like more than I could ever imagine. But you've got to think that there's companies out there that are pulling 1,000 people to a webinar in a second, right? And even if you're only just getting started, the starting account is $79 a month, and you're limited to 100 places. Don't you want as many places as you could get? Well, with RunClick, you can have unlimited attendees, unlimited events. Okay, so Drew, and one of our clients, has said, I've saved somebody, if you're paying $4.99 a month, he saved them over $6,000 a year, every year, by setting up RunClick for them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let me kind of just jump into ask some specific question about the offer now, and if you don't mind. I think once people see the demo video you have, they get it, so let's talk about the name of the product again, and time of the launch, and who's going to be really beneficial for getting this.
Yeah, great, no worries. So we're launching RunClick webinar software, and again, I'm so proud to do it on Wednesday, the 6th of August at 10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Okay.
Right? Wednesday the 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we are doing something crazy just purely for launch. This software, as you can see, is a complete webinar system. And the value of this product is huge. If we're saving the company $6,000 a year, what's it worth? All right? Its commercial product pricing is going to be $197 after launch. But for 5 days, Han, we're going to give this at $27.
Oh, wow.
Fee.
Oh, wow. And
it's one-time fee.
And it's an unlimited license as well, right? Can you talk about that?
They can set up as many of their own personal websites as they choose. All right. So this is an unlimited site license, personal use, for $27, one-time fee. All right. And anybody that knows me, you can Google me on if you want to. Always knows that clients always get updates, always get upgrades. So people who bought the original Hangout plugin will get RunClick. If you're buying this today, or you're buying this on August 6th during our launch period, you will get lifetime updates for that $27 as well.
Oh wow, that's awesome. All right, so
anything we add to the program, $27.
Okay, so let's talk about. You said this is going to launching 5 days special price only, and let's talk about exactly what they're getting in the front end offer. And again, it's starting at the 27. Is that on time sale, or so? What exactly? What I've found out, what exactly are they getting just in the front end offer?
Yep, great question. So they're honestly getting the complete solution. They're licensed to unlimited sites. So what they'll get is immediate access to the download. They'll have a plugin file that all they need to do is go to WordPress and install the plugin. Now, a lot of people, if you're buying this, maybe you're a company, I don't have WordPress, what's a blog, all that kind of stuff. Any website, and actually our training videos, instead of starting from here's how to upload a plugin, we're starting with a blank domain. Here's how to install WordPress. So if you've already got a website, we actually show you it's one click to install WordPress. So now we've got our own webinar system ready to go. Then the next step is to upload our plugin. So for $27, they get the complete solution. All right? And Han, for people watching your video and your subscribers watching here, there's also a few bonuses that they can pick up as well from your people. All right? They're also going to get over $500 worth of software and training as bonuses. Okay, this is for your people, Han. We've got training there on how to do presentations, crash courses in webinars, how to get started in online presenting. All right, there's a beginner, medium, and advanced. The advanced is like hours of tutorials and videos on exactly how to do online presentations with the maximum conversions. So that's a huge bonus. Plus, one big piece of software that's going to make this an absolute game changer as well. A WordPress plugin that sits alongside RunClick and adds a viral sharing capacity to their Hangouts and to their webinars. So as soon as they can create a webinar, it shares it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Blogger, and it does that all from within the WordPress dashboard. And that's the bonus for grabbing RunClick at $27.
Right. That's awesome. So, do you have any OTOs you want to kind of talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So, OTO is a special offer for people who buy the $27 RunClick offer. They'll then get shown what we're calling the developer's license. Okay, the developer's license unlocks a whole stream of income that you can tap into. And what do I mean by that? The developer's license is an additional $67. And what it does is allows you to charge people to set RunClick up for them. So the $27 gives you an unlimited personal use license. Okay, as many sites as you want that you own, you can set this up on. The developer's license means you can go to the business next door and you can say to them, hey guys, I'll set you up with a webinar and video conferencing system. I'll set it up on your domain, I'll install it for you, and I'll charge you $500.
Right, so instead of paying GoToMeeting, they'll be paying you now, right?
Well, they pay the person who buys the developer's license.
Right,
okay?
right.
So that's what this offer is. They pay $27 to get RunClick. At an additional $67, they now have a developer's license, which means they can charge whatever they like and keep all of that money. Okay? The developer's license of RunClick, I can go to a local business, I can go to another company, I can install RunClick for them, I can charge them whatever I like. You don't have to pay me for that. Your developer's license allows you to do that. Okay? So I'll tell you a true story, and I'll give you a bonus on that one as well. I'll tell you a true story. I said about Drew, right? Drew Griffin, who saved companies $6,000 a year. How happy are they to pay him that money? Right? But a true story. A client who had the developer's license has charged $497 each time to install this for companies. This is a complete business system. She puts up a classified ad, a free classified ad in the paper on weekends. Install your own video conferencing and webinar system, $497. She does 2 or 3 of these a week, okay, with her developer's license.
Oh wow!
So she's kind of made a name for herself in real estate. So she's gone to real estate offices, but she just puts up a free classified ad, install your own unlimited webinar system, $497. Her phone rings, she's doing 2 or 3 of these a week, and she's charging $497. She pays for the developer's license one time. Right. And then you can install on unlimited client sites. And I said I was going to give a bonus as well. One of our pieces of software that I developed to help me in business is a lead generation tool. Okay? We have a lead generation tool called Lead Geyser, which sells for $97. Basically, what it does is gives you a whole list of people that you can just type in something, like real estate, for example. It gives you a list. You can send automatic emails from that lead generation system. You can use it as a CRM follow-up tool. It does all of your lead generation work. Why? Because if you've got your developer's license at $67, the next thing you're going to need is people to sell that to sell that as a service.
Right.
So if you pick up the developer's license of RunClick when we launch on Wednesday, you'll get Lead Geyser for free.
Oh wow, that's another awesome bonus, guys. Pay attention.
So you get $67 one time. You can charge whatever you like, as many times as you like. Plus, I'm going to give you a piece of software that allows you to go and find those leads, approach those leads, and sell those leads, and I'll give you that for free.
Awesome. Okay,
so that's the first special offer. The second and final special offer with RunClick when we launch on Wednesday is a professionally designed set of landing page packages. Now, this has cost me, personally, more than $20,000 to develop. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Now, that may seem like a lot, right? But every single landing page package, if you've got a professional web designer to design one page for maximum conversions and that kind of stuff, you're talking a few $100s per page, right? Each one of the packages has 5 pages. It has a registration page, a live event page, a thank you page, a replay page, and a closed page. Each pack has 5 pages, and there's 10 packages in this landing page template set. Every one of these templates is mobile responsive. So somebody can come to your event page, and it automatically resizes if they're on an iPhone or on a tablet. It automatically resizes so you get the maximum look of your webinar page. Why is that important? Because, first of all, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Second of all, you've got about 10 seconds to make a first impression. 80% of the people who are coming to your page will make a decision about you within the first 10 seconds of landing on that page before the event even starts. So these landing page packages, and again, if I'll just do a screen share and I'll show you. Each one of these landing page packages have been professionally designed, are absolutely customizable, and are all mobile friendly. All right. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Great. So let me just show you these landing page packages. Okay. So here's the 10 packages that you'll get, and as I click on any one of them, you can see the images. Each page, the images are customizable, the videos are customizable, every single thing is customizable. You can even change the language of the subscribe button or register button, so people can actually have their own language. If you're in Spanish or in Chinese, it doesn't matter. You can change the language. So if I look at this particular set, you can see it's got a registration, video, name and email. This image is customizable, so you can put your own logos and images in here. That's the registration page. If I scroll, that's the thank you page. It shows the add to calendar and the presentation dates. This is the live page, which actually shows the presentation itself. All right, and then you've got the replay page.
So this is like an entire theme. This is not just one.
This is an entire theme, and this is 10 entire themes in the landing page package. Every single theme has got these components: the social shares, the add to calendars, the thank you page, the replay page. So it's an entire theme. And again, I just want to stress, why is this so important? Because you've got 10 seconds to make a first impression. Okay, and these landing pages have been designed by professional designers to maximize conversions. All right. Now, as I said, this has cost me personally over $20,000 to develop. If you had these people design these pages, you're looking at, let's say, $200 per page. So you're looking at 5 pages. That's $1,000 a package. I've got 10 packages. That's $10,000. Right? But for launch, as a special offer, you get all 10 of these packages, each with 5 pages per pack, for less than $2 per page.
So it's about 20.
It's $97.
97. Okay.
For all 10 professionally landing page packages. $97 will get you all 10 packs, all 10 themes. And if you put developer's license, the developer's license also applies to the landing page packages and templates. So you can then go and install those on client sites. You can charge them an additional fee to have the professionally designed landing pages set up and running as well.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. So do you have any other OTO right after this, or?
No, that's it. So you can have the. I need to stress as well, Han. People always ask me, oh, is it, I don't like OTOs. People, they should put everything in the front package. Okay. Everything that you need to succeed with RunClick, if you only wanted to use RunClick, is in that $27 front end. If you want to open up the additional income stream and be able to then charge whatever you like and have this as a developer's license, it's optional at the additional $67. And the landing page templates are there as an optional as well, $97, and that's it. That's the special offers and the complete system with RunClick when we launch on Wednesday.
Oh wow, that's a steal for that 27 or even the OTO. Yeah. So that's awesome. So I think that's about all the questions I need to ask you here, Walt. And but one last quick question, and that's very important, is as people watching this, they know Google owns Hangout. They know they're gonna continue spend billions and millions of dollars into it, continuously improve on it, and they're seeing other people are really making money with this Hangout technology, but they may be a little bit falling behind, and they see how amazing this plugin is, and they want to buy it. They want to have it, especially at this ridiculously low price here, but you know what? Everyone has that little voice on the back of their head telling them, don't do it, little devil inside the head, and don't take any action, it's too risky. So my question to you, Walt, is what, in your personal opinion, what makes your plugin, your software, so unique? They should absolutely grab during this launching period.
Yeah, that's a great question. And after launch, we go to $197. So there is a couple of things to answer that question. And why should you grab this? First of all, maybe you're just getting started and you think, yeah, but I'm not going to do webinars. Let me tell you, for $27, grab it because you will. You can use this and set it up. It might not be today. It might be tomorrow. What makes it so unique? We've developed our own Google app to work within Hangout, so we're keeping that technology upgrade going forward. We are, one of the things, again, if you Google me, you'll find out, I use my own products. Okay? And 100%. I've seen. It's funny actually. I've seen other people with Hangout or webinar-related software, and then when they do their follow-up training, they'll go to me, and I was like, "Oh, really?" Anyway, I build all of my own products because I use them every day. Why is that important? Because that assures you that I'm going to make sure that it's the best. Okay? It's
another thing for those who listen is he's definitely going to keep up with the software because he's using this for his own business every single day. So
absolutely, exactly right. And you'll be able to see that we've actually updated this software on a regular basis every month or every 6 weeks since we launched it a year ago, and now into RunClick with a new version. So at $27, you're getting a complete webinar system. Do you know what? Even if you you have a relative in 6 months' time, you can give it to them if you're not going to use it. At $27, grab this program because a complete webinar solution for a one-time fee of $27 is insane. It's ridiculous, unheard of.
Right. That's why I said this at the ridiculous price.
Exactly. Plus, as I said, the bonus is for your guys. The bonus is, we're going to give you that extra software as well. But there's also training there. So if you've never done webinars before, even if you have done webinars, start from the advanced stuff. How to do these presentations and get this income. There are people that are making money every day from using Hangouts and webinars, and you can be one of them. We'll give you the training in the back end to make sure.
Right. So absolutely. All right. So you guys heard it, and Walt, thank you so much for spending the time with us. So before we leave here today, do you have maybe a final word of wisdom you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I can. Look, just easy. I can sum it up in 3 words. You can do it. Right? You can do it. I told a story before about getting started and all that kind of stuff, and I told the story about being so freaking broke, down to less than $10 in the bank account and mortgage and family. And people might look now and say, yeah, Walt, you can do that now. All right, you can make $10,000 in 3 days, which is a proof of screenshot on the page of RunClick as well. And I've done that several times. I've made $67,000 from one webinar, right? And people say, yeah, but that's you. I want to tell you, you can do it. My final word of wisdom is, I've been at a 0 point. I've been at a 0 point. And in not very a long time afterwards, we were able to travel the world and do this. You can do it. And I'm talking to the person watching this video. You can do it. And one of the great ways that you can do it is by creating your own products and assets. And one of the great ways you can do that is by using RunClick to do product presentations, interviews, and presentations, reviews, all right? And you can use this system to create your own products starting now. You don't need any more skills or any more training than what you already have. You can do it, and again, I'm talking to the person watching this video. If I can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely.
All you need to do is step up.
Absolutely. All right. On that note, guys, you heard it. You gotta keep taking actions, and if the money or the technology your roadblock to start using Hangout, well, here's your solution right here. Go grab this. Why pay retail at $97 when you can grab right now for just $27, right? So and thank you guys for watching this. Stick with us and watching this, and make sure you stay tuned watching a very, very short sales video or / demo video for this as well. And Walt, thank you so much for spending the time with us. And guys, look out for my email tomorrow to figure out exactly what kind of bonus we're gonna have for you. It's gonna be a huge package. Okay. All right. And Walt, thank you so much and for spending time with us. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you very, very soon.
Thanks, Han. Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
All right. Cheers.